From the wood and canvas flying bombs of the First World War to the jet-powered stealth wingmen of the future, this is the hardware that gives American forces the ultimate high ground. We aren't just talking about the ones you see on the news. We're digging into the classified prototypes, the suicide drones, and the surveillance birds that see everything. Let's respect the history with targets and Cold War relics. The Kettering Bug, the great-grandfather. Built in 1918, this was essentially an aerial torpedo, a biplane with a clock mechanism that would drop the wings and crash the fuselage into the target. Crude, but visionary. The radioplane OQ-2, the first mass-produced drone, used in World War II purely for target practice to train anti-aircraft gunners. Its biggest claim to fame, a young woman named Norma Jean worked in the factory assembling them before she became Marilyn Monroe. The Ryan Firebee, the definitive jet target. For decades during the Cold War, if a fighter pilot needed to prove he could shoot down a MiG, he shot at a Firebee. It could simulate enemy fighter maneuvers at high subsonic speeds. The Beechcraft AQM-37 Jayhawk, a supersonic dart, liquid-fueled and rocket-powered, this thing hits Mach 4 at high altitude, simulating incoming ballistic missiles or high-speed interceptors to test the Navy's defensive systems. The Northrop BQM-74 Chukar, the standard aerial target. It's a small jet drone used to simulate sea-skimming cruise missiles, giving ship crews a realistic threat to track and engage with their Phalanx CIWS guns. The Gyrodyne QH-50-, the drone anti-submarine helicopter. Back in the 1960s, destroyers used this coaxial chopper to carry torpedoes out to where the sonar pinged a sub. It was unreliable, but it was decades ahead of its time. The Lockheed D-21, one of the wildest concepts ever built, a Mach 3 reconnaissance drone designed to launch off the back of an M21, an SR-71 variant. It was meant to sprint over China, take photos, and eject the film canister. A catastrophic collision ended the program, but the engineering was legendary. We are kicking this intel brief off with the heavy hitters. Strike and combat UAVs, the General Atomics MQ-1 Predator, the grandfather of modern drone warfare. This is the platform that changed the rules of engagement forever. It started as a simple eye in the sky, but once they strapped Hellfire missiles to it, it became the world's first true hunter-killer. It's retired now, but its legacy is absolute. The General Atomics MQ-9 Reaper. If the Predator was a scavenger, this is the apex Predator, bigger, faster, and carrying a much heavier payload of hate. It operates at high altitudes, loitering for hours with a mix of Hellfires and GBU laser-guided bombs, waiting for the perfect moment to ruin a terrorist's day. The General Atomics MQ-1C Gray Eagle. The Army's answer to the Predator. It runs on a heavy fuel engine, meaning it drinks the same JP-8 diesel as the trucks and tanks on the ground. It's a workhorse designed to stay on station, coordinate with Apache helicopters, and drop ordnance in support of the infantry. The General Atomics MQ-20 Avenger, formerly known as the Predator-C. They ditched the prop for a jet engine and swept the wings back. This thing is built for speed and low observability. It can haul thousands of pounds of munitions inside an internal weapons bay to keep its radar signature minimal. The Kratos XQ-58 Valkyrie, the future of aerial combat. This is a loyal wingman, a stealthy jet-powered drone designed to fly alongside F-35s and F-22s. It takes the risks so the pilot doesn't have to, capable of absorbing fire or launching its own weapons to clear the skies. Switching gears to the eyes in the sky, strategic intelligence and surveillance. The Northrop Grumman RQ-4 Global Hawk, a high-altitude, long-endurance beast with a wingspan that rivals a commercial airliner. It parks itself at 60,000 feet, way above the weather and most threats, and vacuums up signals intelligence and imagery across entire continents. The Northrop Grumman MQ-4C Triton, the Navy's maritime patrol variant of the Global Hawk. It's reinforced against lightning strikes and hail, designed to drop down through the clouds to identify ships. It acts as a massive data relay, connecting the fleet over vast stretches of ocean. The Lockheed Martin RQ-170 Sentinel, the Beast of Kandahar. This flying wing was a rumor long before it was confirmed. It's a stealth surveillance asset used for the most sensitive missions, including the Overwatch for the raid that got bin Laden, the Northrop Grumman RQ-180, the Ghost in the Machine. Highly classified and rarely seen, this is the next-generation stealth platform designed to penetrate the most sophisticated enemy air defenses on the planet just to see what they are hiding. The Boeing MQ-25 Stingray, a game-changer for carrier ops. It's not a bomber, it's a flying gas station. This carrier-launched drone refuels Super Hornets and F-35s mid-air, massively extending the strike range of the carrier strike group without risking a human pilot in a tanker. Now for the grunt work: tactical and battlefield surveillance. The AAIRQ-7 Shadow. If you served in the GWOT, you know the sound of this flying lawnmower. It's loud, it's ugly, but it gets the job done. Launched from a trailer and caught by arresting gear, it gives brigade commanders real-time video of what's over the next hill. The Boeing In Situ Scan Eagle, a marvel of endurance. It launches via a pneumatic catapult and is recovered by a skyhook wire that snags the wingtip. It can stay aloft for over 24 hours, orbiting a convoy or a forward operating base without blinking. The Boeing In Situ RQ-21 Blackjack, the Scan Eagle's big brother. It keeps the same runway-free launch and recovery system but carries heavier sensors, allowing Marines to track targets with greater fidelity during amphibious operations. The Northrop Grumman MQ-8 Fire Scout. It looks like a helicopter because it is one. Based on the Bell 407 airframe, this vertical lift drone operates from the decks of destroyers and littoral combat ships, hunting submarines and pirates without needing a flight deck crew. The AeroVironment RQ-11 Raven, the most ubiquitous drone in the military. It's hand-launched, literally thrown like a football. It's small, rugged, and gives squad leaders an immediate look around corners or over rooftops in urban environments. The AeroVironment RQ-20 Puma, the Raven's saltwater-capable cousin. It's slightly larger, waterproof, and can be hand-launched from the deck of a patrol boat or a special operations craft to scan the shoreline before a landing. The AeroVironment Wasp 3, the micro option. Weighing roughly a pound, this is for special operations teams who need to act fast. It's practically silent and small enough to be packed into a rucksack without weighing the operator down. The Lockheed Martin RQ-3 Darkstar, a stealth reconnaissance prototype from the 90s that looked like something out of a sci-fi movie. It was canceled in favor of the Global Hawk, but its alien geometry paved the way for modern stealth designs. Next up, loitering munitions. The suicide drones. The AeroVironment Switchblade 300, a backpackable airstrike. It launches from a mortar-like tube, spreads its wings, and lets the operator guide it directly into a high-value target with surgical precision. It's a flying shotgun shell for taking out snipers or machine gun nests. The AeroVironment Switchblade 600, the tank killer. It functions just like the 300, but packs a much heavier warhead designed to punch through armor. It extends the reach of the infantrymen, allowing them to destroy enemy vehicles without calling in air support. The Raytheon Coyote, a tube-launched shapeshifter. It can be used as a single surveillance asset, but its real power is in the swarm. The military uses these to hunt other drones or to saturate an enemy defense grid with overwhelming numbers. The Anduril Altius 600, the Swiss Army knife of tube-launched drones. It can be fired from a truck, a plane, or a helicopter. It handles everything from electronic warfare jamming to kinetic strikes, offering extreme flexibility on a dynamic battlefield. The Phoenix Ghost, a shadowy munition developed rapidly for the war in Ukraine. Specifics are tight-lipped, but it's a dedicated one-way loitering drone designed to track and destroy medium-armored ground targets in contested environments. Moving into the weird stuff, experimental, and X-planes, the Boeing X-45, a stealth flying wing that proved unmanned combat air vehicles, UCAVs, were viable. It demonstrated that a robot could handle the suppression of enemy air defenses without a human inside to panic. The Northrop Grumman X-47B, the history maker. This tailless jet proved that a drone could catapult off a majestic aircraft carrier and, more importantly, catch the wire and land on one autonomously. That is a feat of coding and engineering that is hard to overstate. The Boeing X-37B, the Space Force's orbital test vehicle. It launches like a rocket and lands like a plane. It stays in orbit for years at a time, conducting classified experiments and maneuvering in space. What it's actually doing up there is anyone's guess. The McDonnell Douglas X-36, a fighter agility research drone without a tail. It looked unstable, but advanced flight computers kept it flying, proving that future fighters didn't need vertical stabilizers to pull high G turns. The Boeing Phantom Ray, a sleek flying wing demonstrator developed internally by Boeing. It was all about proving advanced surveillance, suppression of air defenses, and electronic attack capabilities in a stealthy package. The Aurora Flight Sciences Orion, a record breaker. This medium-altitude drone was built for extreme endurance, designed to stay aloft for days on end, carrying heavy sensor payloads, pushing the limits of fuel efficiency and aerodynamics. Finally, American Commercial and Blue UAS, industrial drones. The Skydio X2 and X10. These aren't your average camera toys. Made in the USA, they utilize terrifyingly good AI for obstacle avoidance. You can't crash them if you try. The military uses them for close-quarters recon because they can fly themselves through complex structures without GPS. The FreeFly Systems Alta X, the heavy lifter when Hollywood needs a cinema camera in the sky, or the industry needs to haul a massive LiDAR sensor they call the Alta. It's a massive quadcopter design that prioritizes payload and stability over everything else. The Teal Golden Eagle, a ruggedized, secure drone built specifically for short-range reconnaissance. It specializes in thermal imaging and night operations, giving soldiers a pocket-sized capability to own the night. The Inspired Flight IF-1200, a hexacopter workhorse. It's an open-system heavy-lift platform designed for the industrial grind, inspecting power lines or carrying sensors for government agencies that need hardware free of foreign software. The Vantage Robotics Vesper, a quiet, low-profile recon drone. It's modular and portable, favored for its ability to operate discreetly in environments where you don't want to draw attention to yourself. The Parrot Anafi, USA. Yes, Parrot is French, but this specific bird is manufactured in Massachusetts to meet the Army's strict security standards. It features a powerful 32 times zoom and thermal camera, making it a go-to for quick deploy situational awareness. The 3D Robotics Solo, a nod to the past. Before they pivoted to software, 3DR tried to take the consumer market by storm. The Solo was smart and capable, but it couldn't survive the market dominance of overseas competitors. The GoPro Karma, a cautionary tale. The action camera giant tried to build a drone, and it literally fell out of the sky due to power failures. It was recalled and killed off, serving as a reminder that building reliable aircraft is harder than it looks. The Lily Robotics camera, the drone that never was. It promised a throw-and-shoot capability that captured the world's imagination, but the tech never matched the hype, and the company folded before it could deliver on the promise. The Autel Robotics, a point of confusion. You see them everywhere, and they have a massive presence in Washington state, but make no mistake, the parent company is Chinese. While they make capable hardware, they don't fall under the Made in USA banner for strict military sourcing.